I'm TarotOracle, and this is two readings that we didn't catch up on last night because I was ill. One is for Ayma, Ayma X. What are David's feelings and thoughts about me? For that, we're going for the slow tarot, by the way. It looks like that. Lacey Bryant, hand-painted, very cool. So there's not a lot of majors within this, which is quite unusual. So what are their feelings about you? It appears that they don't really know what to expect. You do have on and off feelings. You're not really consistent with feelings. So when you are on, you're on. When you're off, you're off. And he doesn't really expect anything in particular from you, but he does sort of get confused a lot of times as to what you want. You do have sort of an inconsistency in the communication with him. He has inconsistency as well when he communicates back. And because of that, there's a lot of just miscommunication or a lot of just on-off, to where you have periods where everything is great, everything is fantastic, and then other periods where everything is just terrible. And it doesn't seem to be very consistent across the board. And that's one of the issues that they're trying to run out with, right? The judgment, trying to figure out exactly what is happening, trying to figure out which side of the scale is being tipped. The tower, the variances in behaviors, the variances in feelings that are up and down. It's almost a bit too turbulent. Obviously, every relationship has a turbulent on-off type cycle, but this one appears to have a very pronounced on-off type cycle, and that's going to be confusing for everybody, and that's pretty much where we're sort of sitting as far as how they're feeling. The Two of Coins are sort of deciding what to do. They're sort of that in-between place to where they're trying to figure out what to do. A lot of times they're not really certain as to where to go next or what sort of action is going to be beneficial to getting things done, but again, it's very confusing for them as far as that's concerned as well. The Hierophant and the Queen of Swords, I believe that they do have strong feelings about you. I don't think that you're an inconsequential person, and I do believe that they have, very opinionated about what they feel about you. And if you're interested in this person or interested in chasing this person, you probably want to sort of be a bit wary as far as if you're in a relationship with this person, you probably already, have everything set up type thing. But you probably want to be a little wary if this is a new person or if this is somebody that you don't know and you're trying to figure out if they like you or not. I do think that they have a bit of an inconsistency about them as well, and does not look like a great match. But this is for entertainment purposes only. Never make a relationship decision based upon a random dude on YouTube reading your cards. So that is just how that goes. Nomad Trees also had a question. So Nomad had a question. They wanted to know love reading for this single lady. All right, so let's find out about single lady. Will you use, by the way, the Wizard's Tarot, brand new release in 2020. Very cool Barbara Moore release. Barbara Moore has all the good releases this year, it appears. The Chiro deck as well, so I'm very excited about all of that stuff. We'll see how that goes. Pick a few cards at random as far as a love reading. Is it going to be hot and heavy, or is it going to be a dry year? I believe we're doing a general for what is going on with that. We're doing a general for this. So as far as love is concerned, I do believe you have some action later on this year. You have quite a bit of action later on this year. As far as the beginning of the year, I don't really think I see much. I see the existing relationships that you do sort of have being a bit conflicting, some of them being a bit dramatic in many different ways, but I don't see any new relationships sort of cropping up. Do have the Knight of Wands, but the Knight of Wands is always almost like running away. I think one person that you're interested in is not really interested in you, and you're going to sort of run into that eventually. But that is sort of on the rise as far as that's concerned. So if somebody is if you're interested in somebody and you're sort of chasing them, you need to back off a bit. That's not going to be really beneficial for you at this time. Nine of Pentacles says you do have a couple of relationships coming, or potential relationships coming. So we have Ace of Cups and Ace of Wands. I really think that you have more or less a very good and very passionate relationship towards the end of the year coming. And this is going to be something that you're not really going to see. It's not going to be that obvious. It's going to be somebody who just sort of approaches almost as a friend and this person is fairly decent person. They're a nice person. You don't mind them, but you do friend zone them fairly quickly, and that turns out that they're really interested in you. So if you're not interested in them, you're gonna have to communicate that, because that's gonna become a problem later on. So if you're not interested in this particular person near the end of the year, let them know. If they friend zone, make sure that they know that they're friend zoned. Make sure that the relationship is clear so they don't step a bit over the bounds or step a bit overboard. They're not really great at relationships in general, but they do like you a whole lot. So it's going to be something where you have to navigate through that and determine if you like this person. This actually would be a great relationship here if you're interested in it, but they do have a couple of qualities that sort of friend zone them fairly quickly. But if you can get through that, I think you have a very good relationship with this person, but they are going to be a bit confused once you're sort of not interested in them. It's almost like that you give hints of being interested, and then you don't give hints of being interested. So make sure that you're very clear with that intent as you sort of go through that. And that's near the end of the year, probably October, late October-ish. You just meet this person at random. And again, they're super nice. You really click with them, but you end up friend zoning them. Just make sure they know they're friend zoned. And also make sure that you sort of figure out if this is a person that you need to friend zone, then maybe, find out, is this really necessary for me to friend zone them, or is this a potentially good relationship? It's actually a pretty decent relationship if you want to dive into that. Anyway, that is a love reading for this single lady for Nomad Trees. Thank you again, and sorry I was ill last night, but there is your readings.